Hello and a very good morning to all News 9 viewers. I'm Neha Bhan. Let's take a look at some of the top national and international stories of this hour. We begin with what's been happening on the Uttarkashi tunnel front. Now on the 12th of November, 41 labourers got trapped as portions of the Silkyara tunnel collapsed following a landslide. It has been 17 days since the Uttarkashi tunnel collapse and the stranded workers continue to remain trapped. 2 weeks into the incident, rescue operation is underway to save the trapped workers. Let's get you the latest right on your screens. Now, rescuers resort to old method of rat hole mining. Later in this, bulletin, we will explain what it really means. Now, here the rescue workers also carried out 36 meters of vertical boring. Vertical drilling encountered water underground, but dewatering was carried out. Now, 1 meter of manual drilling completed last night. That's according to reports. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also prayed for the safety of 41 trapped workers. Scientists and other experts on the site to help in the rescue operation. No involvement in Uttarakhand tunnel construction. That is what the Adani Group has clarified. In the latest update from the Uttarkashi tunnel, rescuers have resorted to the rat hole mining technique to evacuate 41 trapped workers. Now, this step was taken following the failure of a heavy auger machine to drill through the rubble to create an escape passage for them. Now, according to reports, at least 12 experts have been called in at the Silkyara tunnel in Uttarkashi by Trenchless Engineering Services Private Limited and Navayuga Engineers Private Limited to apply the rat hole mining technique horizontally in the collapsed part of the main structure. Meanwhile, vertical drilling to rescue the trapped workers in the collapsed section of the Uttarkashi tunnel is currently underway. 36 meters of vertical boring have been carried out and a total of 86 meters is required. Vertical drilling encountered water underground, but dewatering was carried out. Now, the reports also suggest that 1 meter of manual drilling was completed last night and the pipe has been pushed by 1 meter. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also asked people to pray for the safety of the miners. Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami, right on your screens, has arrived at the Uttarkashi tunnel, where 41 workers are trapped since 12th of November. It's been 15 days and the Chief Minister as well as the state government officials have remained on their toes. They have been, in fact, visiting the site every day to take stock of the situation and to understand how long is it really going to take to rescue the trapped workers. Chief Minister has also been briefing the media almost every day about the rescue operation. These 41 workers have been trapped since the 12th of November. They've been provided food and oxygen through pipes. They've been doing well as of now, but some of them reportedly have also complained of nausea and vomiting. Remember, they are not receiving any sunlight. It's been 15 days now. There have been doctors, psychologists who have been continuously in touch with these workers who have shown resilience.
Sir, what is the progress?
Okay, I'll give you a quick soundbite and then you leave me alone, okay? So they've gone very well last night. They've just crossed 50 metres. There's about, let's say it's about 5 or 6 metres to go. They're just putting another pipe in, so we're expecting some good results later today.
Sir, we have crossed 50 meters. It is very big achievement.
It is, yes, very big.
So how much left?
We think probably another pipe. 5-6 meters.
5-6 meters only left.
Yes.
So how much time it will take to reach 5-6 meters?
Oh, it
Total
depends-
57
It
meters.
depends on the ground, but we haven't had any obstacles last night, and it's looking very positive sometime today.
कि जो हमारा ओगर का पार्ट फंसा हुआ था उसको निकालने के बाद में जो 1.9 मीटर काटा था उसके अंदर 3 किश्तों में सबसे पहले 220 पुश किया गया तो वो हो गया। वो जो सबसे बड़ा क्रिटिकल पार्ट था कि कहीं लगभग 2.5 दिन से ज्यादा हो गया है, जो पाइप है उसको कहीं शेप लेकर के थोड़ा सा जिसको कहते हैं सेटिंग ना हो गया हो और आगे पुश ना हो पाए, जिसके लिए चिंता थी कि हमें और अल्टरनेट पे जाना पड़ सकता, तो अभी संभवतः नहीं जाना पड़ेगा। उसके बाद 500 पुश किया गया। मतलब जैसे आप समझ पूछ भी रहे थे कि भाई जो रेट माइनस टेक्निक क्या होती है, मतलब जो भी है दे नॉट रेट माइनस बट रेट माइनस टेक्निक बोली जाती है कि वो क्लियर करते हैं। उन्होंने पार्ट क्लियर किया, क्लियर करके फिर पुश किया। तो जैसे पहले गो में 220 पुश किया गया, यानी आप समझ सकते हैं 0.22 मीटर। फिर सेकंड गो के अंदर जो क्लियर किया उन्होंने क्लियर करके 500 पुश हुआ, यानी 0.5 मीटर। उसके बाद थर्ड गो के अंदर फिर जैसे उन्होंने थोड़ा सा क्लियर किया तो 200 मतलब 0.2 मीटर फिर पुश हो पाया। सो इस टाइप से ये लगभग पिछले 2 घंटे में, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि यही स्पीड रहेगी। जैसे जो 500 में पुश किया गया तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि पुश करने में उसमें सिर्फ 5 मिनट लगे। वो 500 पुश करने में अराउंड 5.5 मिनट्स का टाइम लगा मशीन को, लेकिन उसके आगे का मक हटाना, उसके आगे अब जैसे हो सकता है कि आगे की जैसे पिक्चर आप लोगों ने कुछ देखी है, सरिये और डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ जो गर्डल स्ट्रक्चर कुछ और चीजें आ जाती हैं, पाइप्स हैं, उसको काटने में, उसको क्लियर करने में हो सकता है 1 मीटर में 4 घंटे भी लग जाए, हो सकता है कि 1 मीटर में आधा घंटा भी लगे, हो सकता है 5 घंटे भी लग जाए। तो जो आप लोग कह रहे थे वो काम स्टार्ट हो गया है। मैनुअल प्लस पुशिंग वाला जो है ना, मतलब बेसिकली आप ये समझिए कि काम स्टार्ट उसमें ये हो गया है कि क्लियर करते हैं हाथ से, तो मैनुअली हाथ से क्लियर करके उसको अगर कहीं भी दिक्कत आती है उसको मशीन से, अभी बीच में छोटे सरिये थे तो उनको काट दिया गया। तो इट विल वर्क लाइक दिस, जैसे थोड़ा थोड़ा चलता रहेगा, लेकिन इसके अंदर कोई एक स्पीड, कोई एक समय सीमा, जैसे आप लोगों के फिर सवाल होंगे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं बताया जा सकता। लेकिन लेट्स प्रे एंड लेट्स होप कि जितनी जल्दी हो सके उतनी कम कठिनाइयां है और हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा जल्दी इसको कर पाए।
से अब तक काफ़ी प्रोग्रेस हुई है। जो मेन हॉरिजॉन्टल अप्रोच हमारा सिलक्यारा से हो रहा था, सिलक्यारा एंड से हो रहा था, उसके अंदर जो फंसा हुआ मलबा था और फंसा हुआ टूटा टुकड़ा था जो हमारे ऑगर का, उसको हटा दिया गया है। और अब उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि शाम को मैनुअल ड्रिफ्ट तरीके से मैनुअल प्रोबिंग शुरू होगी। तकरीबन 15 मीटर का फासला है, जिसमें 2 टीमें, 3-3 की टीम होंगी जो मैनुअली और कुछ पावर टूल्स के साथ इसको खुदाई करके और इस रास्ते को बनाएंगे। बाकी जो ऊपर वर्टिकल वाला है उसमें कल 15 मीटर तक का डेप्थ हमको हासिल हुआ था, आज 30 से 32 मीटर हासिल हो गया है और उसमें अभी तक कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। साथ में उसी के नज़दीक एक प्रोब और हो रहा है वर्टिकल, जो कि 6 से 8 इंच का है। वो अल्टरनेटिव लाइफलाइन बनाई जा रही है। वो तकरीबन अब 76 मीटर पहुंच गई है नीचे और कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ उसको। तो उससे अंदेशा लगाया जा सकता है हमारा कि जो हमारा ये बड़ा वाला जो एक 1.2 मीटर का जो डिगिंग हो रही है, वर्टिकल ड्रिलिंग हो रही है, उसमें भी शायद कोई हमें प्रॉब्लम ना खड़ा हो आगे। बाकी जो दिशाएं हैं, पीछे बरकोत की तरफ से ब्लास्टिंग तो जारी है, मगर वो तरीका थोड़ा धीरे चलता है। तकरीबन 12 मीटर वहाँ पर प्रोग्रेस हो गया है, मगर जो ये साइड का जो परपेंडिकुलर वाला था उसका इक्विपमेंट अभी तक नहीं पहुँचा है। दोनों गाड़ियाँ जो इक्विपमेंट ला रही हैं, बड़ी बड़ी गाड़ियाँ हैं और बड़ा बड़ा इक्विपमेंट है, वो तकरीबन 20 किलोमीटर और 40 किलोमीटर दूर हैं अभी सिलक्यारा से। और ONGC का जो ऊपर से शुरू होना है वो भी थोड़ा अभी वक्त लगेगा। तो 3 जगह तो ये काम जारी है, जिसमें से 2 काम तो काफ़ी रिलायबल हैं, एक टॉप डाउन ड्रिलिंग और एक ये जो अब हॉरिजॉन्टल जो अब हैंड ऑगर के हैंड टूल्स के जरिए जो डिगिंग की जाएगी।
Now, with large metal pieces hindering the machine drilling and breaking the auger, the rescuers are planning to drill through the remaining few meters using the practice of rat hole mining. Jhansi resident Prasadi Lodhi, a rat hole miner who arrived in Silkyara to aid the rescue operation, said he would enter the rescue pipes and use handheld tools to dig through the remaining debris blocking the exit to the tunnel. Now, let's tell you more about it. Rat hole mining is a method of extracting coal from narrow horizontal seams. The term rat hole refers to narrow pits dug into the ground. Pits are just large enough to a person descend and extract coal. Once the pits are dug, miners descend using ropes to reach the coal seams. Now, coal is then manually extracted using primitive tools such as picks, axes, shovels and baskets. Rat hole mining poses significant safety and environmental hazards. Mines are typically unregulated, lacking safety measures, can cause land degradation, deforestation and water pollution. The National Green Tribunal banned rat mining in 2014 and retained the ban in 2015. NGT noted numerous instances of water flooding into mining areas during rainy seasons, resulted in deaths of many, including employees and workers involved in coal mining. Ban was particularly directed towards rat hole mining in Meghalaya. Government of Meghalaya appealed the NGT order in the Supreme Court. My colleague Nivriti, who's in Uttarkashi, also gets us the latest from the ground. Let's listen in.
Let me show you what is happening at the site right now. You can see, if my camera person can zoom in and show you how there is some kind of a layout that has been displayed at the side outside the tunnel on the face of Silkyara tunnel. You can see a layout kind of a thing, the design of the tunnel and how the various method through which they are going to approach. So in front of the layout that is being displayed, you can see army personnel out there and some workers also. I think some sort of briefing is going on about how to approach and the design of the tunnel and the methods through which they are going to approach inside the tunnel. So if we can zoom in a little bit more, you can see the vertical drilling thing is also being shown, I think, but not very clearly visible. But there is something, some kind of briefing going on there, and there is a discussion happening there how to approach. Now you can see, let me talk about another option that is being explored and army will be doing it. The horizontal drilling that is going on inside the tunnel and where the auger machine is struck. Exactly parallel to that, another method inside the tunnel from this side only. Another method is also being tried, that is drift tunnel by manual semi-mechanized method by the joint team of THDCL Army and Coal India and NHIDCL. So what they are doing, you can see those sections, the concrete sections over there. So these are the things that will be used to make that passage. So what is happening is there is a drift design. So it is a drift technology. So there is a drift design which is completed, and it is as you can see the sections, it is 1.2 meters by 1.5 meters section. Each section is of about 1.2 meters by 1.5 meters, and material is available at site right now as told to us by the authorities. Fabrication has started, and it started on 21st of November and it was done by army welders. So 18 numbers of frames were fabricated as per the information received yesterday. So these kind of frames are being made and they will be placed. I think they will be doing it manually, and then army will be doing it. These section will be placed one by one, and then a tunnel through these sections is tried to be made. They are trying to make a tunnel through these sections. So you can see the size will be this much as the section 1.2 meters by 1.5 meters. So this is another technology, this is another option that is being explored by the army, and our army is deployed to work on this section.
Moving on now, the Karnataka government led by Congress is gearing up to introduce a new cyber law bill aimed at tackling the issue of fake news and hate speech. Home Minister Dr. G. Parameshwara revealed that the draft bill is currently in the works with collaboration between the Information Technology and Home Departments. There are plans to present the bill during the upcoming Belagavi Assembly session set to commence on the 4th of December. Since assuming power in May, the Congress-led government under Chief Minister Siddaramaya's direction has been firm in its stance against the spread of fake news. Now, there, Home Minister Dr. Parameshwara, addressing the media in Tumukuru, emphasized the necessity of this new bill to regulate social media activities and maintain accountability. Notably, a deepfake video of Bollywood actor Rashmika Mandana recently went viral on social media, underscoring the challenges posed by misinformation. To reinforce the crackdown on misinformation, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has also instructed the state police to establish fact-check units in every commissionerate across the state. Additionally, the Karnataka government has issued an expression of interest to agencies for the establishment of an information disorder tracking unit to curb misinformation. Now, the state has outlined specific parameters for the agencies involved in this initiative. More than half of those killed in Manipur since the 3rd of May have unclaimed bodies in state mortuaries. The Supreme Court appointed panel led by ex-Jammu and Kashmir High Court Chief Justice Geeta Mittal has reportedly raised concerns about victims' relatives feeling pressured by civil society organizations to reject the bodies. The panel has urged the apex court to intervene in this matter. The suggested measures include the court prohibiting interference by such organizations. The case is scheduled for Tuesday before a bench led by Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud. Now, do remember that 3rd of May was when an ethnic conflict broke out between the Kukkis and the Meiteis. Over 150 people have lost their lives and scores have been injured. Since then, this tiny northeastern state in India has remained on the edge. There have been several measures that the state government has taken, but that has failed to curb the violence. Even now, one cannot firmly say that normalcy has returned in Manipur. And now, in the latest, half of those people who have been killed in Manipur have unclaimed bodies in state mortuaries. Now, moving on, the EC has asked the Telangana government to stop the disbursement of financial aid to farmers under the Raitu Bandhu scheme, citing a violation of poll code after a state minister made public remarks on the initiative. Although BRS has asked EC to reconsider its decision and allow disbursements of financial aid to farmers for rabi crops under the Raitu Bandhu scheme until the end of the elections. Launched in 2018, the scheme gives cash grants of 5,000 an acre for a crop season to enable farmers to meet contingencies and augment agricultural production. The EC gave no objection to the Telangana government for the disbursements of financial aid to farmers for growing their rabi crops during the October-January period under certain conditions. The state government was asked by the poll body not to publicize the disbursement after the Model Code of Conduct came into existence.
Today, Telangana farmers have realized that Congress party
has been time and again complaining to Election Commission of India for an ongoing program in which in last 10 seasons we have disbursed about 72,000 crores to 65 lakh farmers across Telangana. It was not a program that was announced in our last election manifesto. It was not a program related to election at all. But then Congress party time and again, who is threatened that the vote bank of entire farmers of Telangana is with BRS party, is trying to trouble the farmers of Telangana. This is going to work extremely against Congress, and we also request and pray to all farmers of Telangana to realize that it is Congress party who is delaying the Raitu Bandhu payment, not BRS party, and it is the Congress party which is delaying the loan waiver payment, not BRS party. So Election Commission of India first gave the permission, then again Congress party went and complained, then they stopped the payment. It was a regular ongoing government program. It is not related to a party, but yet threatened by the success of the BRS party, threatened by the love that BRS party enjoys of the farmers of Telangana, Congress party has complained and stalled the Raitu Bandhu payment, which is really unfortunate.
The following content may contain visuals that are disturbing, graphic, or sensitive in nature. Viewer discretion is advised. This material is intended for mature audiences and may not be suitable for all viewers. Please exercise caution while watching, and if you find such content distressing, we recommend discontinuing viewing. This disclaimer is provided to ensure awareness and to prioritize viewer well-being.
Now, the war between Israel and Hamas has entered its 53rd day. Let's get you the latest update right on your screens. Israel and Hamas has extended the truce for 2 more days for what comes as a breather for both sides. UN Chief Antonio Guterres has welcomed truce extension. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken is all set to travel Israel this week. He would also be visiting some other places in the Middle East. The Israeli military will fight with stronger force once combat resumes. That's what the Israeli Defense Minister has stated. 40 trucks carrying humanitarian aid have reached Gaza and certain other parts of North Gaza as well. Talking about the death toll, 14,854 Palestinians, including 6,150 children, have been killed in the Gaza offensive. Now, Qatar managed to successfully extend the 4-day truce between Israeli troops and Hamas forces in Gaza by 2 days on Monday. Qatar, along with Egypt, has been mediating the ceasefire through indirect negotiations in the region ravaged by war since the past 7 weeks. Hundreds of Gazans hurried to grab food from UN relief rations handed on Monday, many of whom recounted poor living conditions that they expect to worsen if the war resumes. The ceasefire agreement reached last week is the final pause, first pause, since Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people and releasing 240 captives. Take a look at this report.
A deal to extend a truce between Israeli troops and Hamas forces in Gaza by 2 days was agreed on Monday. That's according to mediator Qatar, which has been facilitating indirect negotiations between the two sides with Egypt. The agreement lengthens a 4-day ceasefire after 7 weeks of warfare, which has seen thousands killed and laid waste to the Palestinian enclave. Hamas also confirmed the extension. There was no immediate comment from Israel. The release of 11 more Israeli hostages seized by Hamas during its October 7th assault on southern Israel was confirmed on Monday. As dozens of Gazans rushed to get supplies from aid rations distributed by the UN on Monday, many described the dire living conditions that they expect to worsen if war resumes. Raider Mohammed Jamal al-Jabouri is one of them.
We wish that the truce would be permanent, and people would go back to their lives and to see each other. People have lost their families and relatives, and we are not able to reach our families. We don't know who we lost and who was still alive. We are coming here to try and get some clothes for our children, because we left everything in our house. Children are wearing summer clothes. This is not right. God willing, the truce will be extended and will stay in place. We don't want more war. This is enough. This is so tough on us.
On Sunday, Hamas freed 17 Israelis, including a 4-year-old Israeli-American girl, and Israel freed 39 teenage Palestinian prisoners. The truce, agreed last week, is the first halt in fighting since Hamas attacked Israel, when 1,200 people were killed and 240 hostages were taken back into Gaza. In Jerusalem, Israeli Anat Errol is also advocating for a pause in fighting.
I'm against all violence, and I really hope that there will be ceasefire, and I really hope that it will continue to be ceasefire, because violence is not a solution for anything. I mean, I know that those terrorists are like horrible, like they are. I can't even say they need to, of course, personally they need to be punished, but not all the other people in Gaza need to be punished.
In response to the October 7th attack, Israel has bombarded the Gaza Strip and mounted a ground offensive in the north. As of Monday, Gaza health authorities say some 14,800 Palestinians have been killed. Hundreds of thousands have been displaced.
An Israel-Hamas truce in the Gaza Strip stretched into a 5th day on Tuesday as the two sides completed the release of Israeli hostages and detained Palestinians under their original ceasefire deal and appeared poised to free more. Israel on Monday said 11 Israelis had returned to the country from the Gaza Strip, bringing to 69 the total of Israeli and foreign hostages the Islamist Palestinian group Hamas has freed since Friday under the 4-day truce. Hamas took some 240 hostages during an October 7 incursion into southern Israel that killed 1,200 people. This is according to Israeli figures, prompting Israel to retaliate by bombing the coastal enclave and launching a ground offensive in its north. The Israel Prison Service said 33 Palestinian prisoners were released on Monday from Israel's Ofar prison in the West Bank and from a detention center in Jerusalem, bringing the total number of Palestinians it has freed since Friday to 150. The Israeli forces clashed with some of the dozens of Palestinians who gathered outside Ofar prison near Ramallah in the occupied West Bank to await the release of Palestinian prisoners, the Palestinian Health Ministry stated. Some of the protesters waved the flags of Hamas and Islamic Jihad, another Palestinian militant group. Now, the ministry said a Palestinian was killed in the area and that it was unclear if he had participated in the clashes. Palestinian media reported he was shot dead. Israel had no immediate comment on the incident. In response to the 7th of October attack, Israel has bombarded the Gaza Strip and mounted a ground offensive in the north. More than 15,000 Palestinians have been killed. That's the latest coming in, Gaza's Hamas-run government has stated, and hundreds of thousands have been displaced. Qatar, which along with Egypt has facilitated indirect talks between the two sides, said that there was an agreement to extend by 2 days the original 4-day truce that was to expire on Monday. The United Nations Relief Agency UNRWA said it is seeking to deliver aid into northern Gaza as the truce between Hamas and Israel is extended. Trucks carrying aid and ambulances were seen lined up and moving. UNRWA officials said that they are waiting for clearance to go through the Israeli-controlled zone. The truce agreed last week is the first halt in fighting in the 7 weeks since Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking about 240 hostages back into Gaza. Along with roads near Gaza City, dozens of displaced Palestinians headed south carrying their belongings as they tried to find food and shelter. Many Palestinians were on foot walking amongst the rubble and mudded roads, while military tanks could be seen in the distance. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have been displaced from their homes in the north of the Gaza Strip since the start of the war on the 7th of October. Israel has told displaced Gazans not to attempt to return to the northern part of the Gaza Strip. Gazans have used the truce between Hamas and Israel to take a breather by the beach after 7 weeks of continuous war. The truce agreed last week is, in fact, first halt in fighting in the 7 weeks since Hamas attacked Israel, killing about 1,200 people and taking about 240 hostages back into Gaza. In response to that attack, Israel has bombarded the enclave and mounted a ground offensive in the north. Some 14,800 Palestinians have been killed, Gaza health authorities have stated, and hundreds of thousands have been displaced. A handful of protesters have braved the rain in Jerusalem to call on the United Nations to speak up about women they say were subjected to sexual violence by Hamas terrorists on the 7th of October. They demonstrated in front of the UN building in Jerusalem as Israel was holding a meeting at the Geneva headquarters to raise awareness of Hamas sexual violence. Growing evidence is emerging that points to sexual crimes during the most deadly attack on Israel in its history, such as victims found disrobed and mutilated. Israeli authorities have opened an investigation into sexual violence perpetrated during the Hamas attack, including rape. A mother and 3 children held captives for 52 days by Palestinian terrorist group Hamas were reunited with their husband and father in Israel after their release. The 4 hostages were brought to the, Children's Medical Center for checkups and treatment. The family was photographed as they were reunited. On the morning of 7th of October, Hamas terrorists attacked the kibbutz of Kfar Aza and Avichai placed his wife, Hagar, and 3 children in a safe room before going out to defend their home and the community. When he returned, Hagar and 4-year-old Uriah, 8-year-old Yuval, and 10-year-old Ofri, together with a family friend, 4-year-old Idan, had disappeared. They were taken by the Hamas terrorists and held hostage with more than 200 people in Gaza. The 4 family members, together with Israeli-American Idan, were returned to Israel under a temporary ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. The Israeli military released a video said to show Gaza-bound 8 trucks at a border crossing with Egypt. In an accompanying statement posted on Telegram, the Israeli military said there were 200 trucks and they would undergo an inspection first before heading to Egypt's Rafah border crossing, through which humanitarian aid into Gaza is delivered. 42 of those trucks were loaded with shelter equipment. Separately, an official said that Israel would allow a dramatic increase in aid to Gaza in the coming days, calling on Palestinian civilians to head to what he described as a humanitarian zone in the south of the territory. Elon Musk toured with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on ruins of Israeli kibbutz of Kfar Aza near the border with Gaza. Israel hosted Elon Musk, saying it had reached an agreement in principle for using his SpaceX company's Starlink communications into the Gaza Strip, where a pause to the war against Hamas coincided with the tech entrepreneur's visit. Musk's office has yet to comment on the trip.
On his way back, he noticed several terrorists.
Netanyahu discussed with Musk the security aspects of artificial intelligence and hold a live online discussion. That is what Netanyahu's office said.
But it's holding shells, specifically of a Negev, that was used here in order to protect the people.
Now, terrorist organizations are increasingly engaging with the crypto sector and exploiting developments in blockchain technology in order to raise funds and evade detection from the authorities. A new front has emerged in Israel's fight against terrorists, financing of groups such as Hamas or Hezbollah, and this front is a fast emerging blockchain known as Tron. Take a look at this report.
A new front has emerged in Israel's fight against militant financing of groups such as Hamas or Hezbollah. And this front is a fast emerging blockchain known as Tron. So Tron is what's known as a blockchain. That is essentially the infrastructure that's used to send and receive cryptocurrencies. Tron has overtaken Bitcoin, which is by far the largest cryptocurrency and blockchain out there, as the predominant platform for transfers associated with groups designated as terrorist organizations by Israel and the United States. That's according to a Reuters analysis of several years of Israeli cryptocurrency seizures that identified crypto wallets as being linked to these groups. It's grown quite popular because of three main reasons. It's very quick, it's very cheap, and it's become quite difficult for blockchain analysis companies and law enforcement to track. Since the October 7th attacks on southern Israel by Hamas, Israel has started a bombardment and ground invasion of the Gaza Strip that has killed around 14,000 people. Israel has also stepped up scrutiny of how the militant group is raising money in general. Since 2021, Israel's counter-terrorist financing authorities have seized about 140 Tron cryptocurrency wallets that it said were linked to militant groups. Of these seizures, about 2/3 have come this year, including 39 wallets that Israel said were linked to the Lebanese organization Hezbollah. Reuters was not able to independently establish a link between cryptocurrency wallets Israel's counter-terrorist financing body seized and militant groups such as Hamas, Hezbollah or Palestinian Islamic Jihad.
Sierra Leone President Julius Maada Bio said the majority of the leaders of an earlier Sunday attack on a military barracks in the capital Freetown had been apprehended by security forces and calm had been restored in the West African nation, adding that security operations and an inquiry are ongoing. Earlier, the government said that infiltrators were attempting to break into a military armory in Freetown during the early hours of Sunday. A national curfew was imposed as the assailants fired shots across the city as they stormed a prison and a police station. Take a listen.
In the early hours of this morning, there was a breach of security at the military barracks at Wilberforce in Freetown. Some individuals attacked the military armory and other locations in Freetown, including Pademba Road Correctional Center. In the event, prisoners escaped. The attackers have been repelled by a combined team of gallant security forces, and calm has been restored. Most of the leaders have been arrested. Security operations and investigations are ongoing. We will ensure that those responsible are held accountable through due process.
Legendary rocker Ozzy Osbourne receives honours at the inaugural Rolling Stone UK Awards, commemorating an iconic career in music.
That's amazing that he's going to be winning that award. That's incredible. Yeah, we're fans.
You can root most heavy music back to Sabbath, man.
Yeah.
Like that sort of dark tonal sound. So much of rock music comes back to Sabbath. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're such a benchmark in music.
I think like it taught me to have been out of the box was alright. You know what I mean? He was like crazy, and he's just something that's been a part of my life since I was born. You know what I mean? My granddad and my dad like brought me up on Sabbath, and I found Bark at the Moon myself, and just like definition of a rock and roll star, isn't it?
Yeah, all credit to the fans. And they support.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of The Bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. You have a blessed day ahead. This is me, Neha, signing off.